Well, I mean, I think, you've got, as we talked about before, you've got kind of two angles. You've got from a third-party risk management perspective, you've got the third parties themselves, who I think this is going to be a bit of a culture shock. And they're going to get pressure from two angles. One is from the regulators themselves. So all of a sudden, if they're a critical third party, which, let's face it, there are thousands and thousands of them out there of all shapes and sizes, they can't avoid this. They have to be compliant. They have to be able to demonstrate compliance. But on the flip side, they're also going to have a responsibility to their clients as well. So I suspect every client is going to every third party at the moment with a nice little questionnaire, understanding how that they comply, how they satisfy the requirements for their clients. So that's a really interesting dynamic. There's a lot of work there. FS organizations also have to have certain clauses in the contracts now as well. Wading through hundreds and hundreds of service provider contracts is just going to be such a time drain, a resource drain. So part of my strong recommendation to firms is that we leverage technology to do that. I think that's one of the pieces of heavy lifting that we can use technology for now. Again, third parties, it comes back to impact on critical business services. So again, understanding which third parties support which platforms. Often we understand which, the first level, but we don't necessarily understand, kind of what dependencies third parties have on third parties have on third parties. So it's understanding that full life cycle, that full, kind of depth of transparency that I think is going to become really difficult. There's all sorts of new processes going to have to come in for third parties now. Annual reviews. There's a specific demand to report new contracts on an annual basis, new engagements on an annual basis. So again, bringing that, a single pane of glass together across the firm, because you've got procurement, you've got legal, you've got technology, you've got the business who increasingly go out and sign technology contracts, independently. So again, bringing all that data together is going to be absolutely key. And then, of course, the what if, what's your exit plan from a technology provider? That's not easy, especially when you talk about some of the bigger ones. There is a demand now, however realistic it is, about having an exit plan from technology providers. That's really tough. And that's going to take a lot of thinking from financial services firms.